bad until it hurts when they find out that you really are actually good. I'm good. I want to talk to you for a brief moment before I take it down and go to bed. I want to speak to you concerning a word that a lot of people don't realize this word exists. It's called honor. I want to speak to you about it because a lot of people do not realize that there are levels of honor. And I'm going to say this. I put up a post early this morning and it frazzled people. And anyone that knows me personally, I'm not talking to people who think you just know me on Facebook and you have no idea. This is not your segmented message. I don't want to speak to people who don't care for me, but you are looking for a reason to justify your feelings that are negative about me. Don't care. But I want to talk to those with a level of understanding. So if you have a level of understanding, then we can have a dialogue, right? I believe in conflict resolution. That means you have to agree to disagree. And there are some conversations that you're going to agree with, and there's some conversations that you're not going to agree with. However, be that as it may, let's have a conflict resolution. Let's agree to disagree, shall we? All right. So this is for the mature people. There was a man by the name of Music Soul Child, right? God rest D'Angelo's soul. But I want to speak to you about Music Soul Child. Music Soul Child had a song, and the song was Teach Me How to Love. You remember that song? It was a song about a young man, and he was involved with a female. And he said to her in the lyrics of the song, Teach me how to love. There are levels of love, just like there are levels of honor. And so, having a dialogue with one of my spiritual mothers, Bishop Pat McKinstry, she got me all the way right. Now, mind you, everybody wants to check you, but everyone can't because this type of oil has to be understood by someone that has understood the poor. Can I say it like that? Which means if you've never pastored a church, you never pastored anybody, whether you like it or not, they understand this segment of the message. So we have to understand it, right? We're not speaking about people who are pastoring maybe 5 people, 10 people. That's up to you. But we're speaking about someone that has a long plethora of history that says, Jamila, J, MJ, I want to talk to you about something. And so what Mama did, she got me all the way right. All right. And so now we have a level of understanding because what was spoken to me let me think about this word called honor. Honor is on levels. I'm saying this because the level of love that you know, someone else doesn't know. The level of honor that you recognize as honor, someone else doesn't know. And so when Music Soul Child sung the lyrics to the song, he said, Teach me how to love. What he was saying is, I don't know that level of love. So there should not be an expectation of something I don't know. I'm saying this with all due respect and honor. We cannot expect people to honor us if they've never been taught real honor. Someone's level of honor is someone else's level of dishonor, meaning this. You could say, I'm going to honor you with this, and that's your level. Remember, there is something that they say your level best. Your level best means the best level associated with what you know. So your level of honor could be deemed dishonor to someone who understands a certain level of honor, meaning this. I am a servant. That's what I do. So I do not have an expectation of someone serving on my level or my capacity. At least what I'm going to do now moving forward is I'm not coming down. No, we're not doing that. Not in this season. We're going to teach people, thank you, Sierra, how to level up. We're not doing that. So it simply means I'm going to teach honor in levels. Because what's honorable to you may not be honorable to someone else. So what we do is we teach the lesson of love and honor. Because sometimes you want to meet somebody where they are. And where they are, you were a couple years back. You learn better. So when you learn better, you do better. Now I'm going to say this. Growing up, my mama, she was a woman of, she was very poised. She was cool. She was etiquette. My mother was classy. My mother was a lady. She believed that a woman should reinvent herself at all times. In fact, a woman is what I am by nature, but a lady is what my parents taught me to be. And so my mother taught us how to dress a table. She taught us about slips and stockings and girdles. My father was very serious because he had three girls and he wanted us to learn how to wear stilettos. And so I grew up around the Jewish community. I did. And so we wore clothing that were not in our community because we wore things that were handed down to us. So my mother dressed us as stair steps. And so we understood going to, now I'm going to say something now. I'm not being bougie. I'm going to say something. I understood what it was to go down to Delancey Street. If you're from up north, you know what I'm talking about. Delancey Street. And so she would take us to Delancey Street and she would show us how to match fabric. And I never will forget, she was taking one of the couches in our house and she was taking they would call it Louis Vuitton furniture, not the Louis Vuitton that y'all talking about. We're talking about the era. She would take the fabric from Delancey Street. So she would take the fabric from the couch, reupholster it, and she would put it on the wall. So the wall fabric matched the couch fabric that was in the plastic. She taught us how to set tables. She basically taught us how to be ladies. And so what she did is she embedded stuff in us. And so my mother was always having Tupperware parties, and she was always teaching us how to serve our husbands. She was teaching us these things. So when it comes down to certain things, I don't fall short because my mother taught us how to do things. She taught us how to decorate a house and put our stuff together. These are the things that you don't hear of today. I get it. So when you have different people from different walks of life, right? And they believe that this is their level best, when you have been taught a certain way, it's not that it's not good enough. You really don't understand what they're doing because this is not what I know. The word is customary. Marriage is a melting pot of two histories. People are a melting pot of a whole bunch of people from different walks of life. And everyone has not been taught a specific way. You want your husband to love you. How do you know he knows how to do that the way you were taught? You want someone to honor you. What I realize now is I cannot have an expectation where there was not a lesson. You can't get mad because people don't know. You have to take a deep breath and teach them. Let me give you the scripture. The Bible said that my people are destroyed for their lack of knowledge. And so even though people don't have the knowledge, when you want something done a certain way, not controlling, teach them. This is why I have the Talk with the Teachable Women, to teach them. But this is the part that kind of, when you walk with people and you have taught them, honor has to be taught. Go to the scripture, Romans 13:7. It speaks about honor. If I borrow something from you, right? The expectation is that you'll return it, right? But if the person does not return what they borrowed, after them saying, this is what I'm going to borrow from you, and you go and you say, okay, I need that back, and they don't give it back, that's not honorable behavior. Honorable behavior has to be taught. because everyone moves on their level best. And it's not that it's not good enough. We have an expectation because we thought we were teaching. Someone said, this is so good. And so, how do you get in a relationship with someone that doesn't know? How do you expect something from people who don't know? So, you have to teach people how to love you. You have to teach people how to honor you. And even though it can be frustrating at times, I'm not going down there. I'm going to bring them up here. Because every lesson that is learned is a lesson taught. And every lesson that is learned and every lesson that is taught brings you to a whole different level in life. Y'all sing the song, level up, level up, level up, level up, level up. No, you don't want to level up, baby. You don't want to level up. Because when you want to level up, you will learn the lesson. Now, I remember going over to Leary's house, right? I was over to Leary and Sean's house. And Leary paints. Sean paints too. And I said, oh, girl, that's abstract art. I love that. Now, a lot of people don't know I love art. I said, that's abstract art. I like that. I could not do what Leary does because Leary is an artist. So she will level up in an area where I don't know what to do. So I either learn how to paint or I leave her to her craft. You have to know how to delegate so you won't be disappointed. Delegating is necessary. Now, when we were little kids, one of the things that I used to hate and still despise to this day is when my mother used to say, I need y'all to take out the ironing board and iron the tablecloths. Now, that was a punishment. She said, I need you to iron the tablecloths. Now, if anyone has ever ironed a tablecloth, you know that this right here is demonically evil. Yeah. Yeah. You want us to do what? She says, iron the tablecloths because we get ready to have a dinner party. And you see how it's folded? You see these creases? I need these creases out. And so we would have to iron some of the, this is helping me, the tablecloths. My mother was teaching us. She was teaching us. Now, me being a wife, right? All of us are married. All of my siblings, all of the women are married, all the men, my brother's married, my sisters, all of us are married. My mother taught us how to be wives. She taught us. She taught us. She said, now I could teach you how to get a husband, but it's going to be up to you to keep him. Now, this may not be your segment of the message, but hear me by way of the Holy Spirit. Everything requires a lesson in life. Everything requires a lesson for you in life. The question that I have is, how long are you going to get the lesson? Because once you get a lesson, you just won't be hearers of the word, you'll be doers. And so the problem with people is not their ears, it's the receiving part of the impartation. If you're walking with someone, walk with them long enough to get an impartation. Every time you get an impartation of the lesson, you put yourself in a position to level up. And you will never be disappointed. Not one person. I'm saying this. Someone said, ugh, I hate ironing tablecloths. Not one person. Not one person. Not one person is going to come to me without me understanding how to serve them. I say this because I am a person that pays attention to details. Now, there are people who have come inside of Unity Charlotte International. If you've ever come to Unity, you're not going to see churches like you've ever seen before because I love to decorate. Ta-da. I love it. This is what I like to do. Hold on, I got to tell TikTok. This is what I love to do. This is what I like to do. I like to do it, okay? Hold on. I can't leave the YouTubers out. This is something that I love to do. Okay, let me show you. I love to do that. See, I got clothes that I'm giving away because I can't fit them anymore. I love to decorate. I have an eye for decorating. Now, I can't paint like Larry, but I sure can decorate because I pay attention to detail. I am detail oriented. Everything that I do unto the glory of God. Everything. So what I do when I'm serving people, I pay attention to the detail. I pay attention to the detail because I believe in servitude with excellence. You can't come to Unity and do what you want, say what you want. I believe in serving the Lord with gladness, but I also believe in serving with excellence. Yeah, I believe in it. So you talking about my nails? All right, there you can see them. Okay, all right. So y'all can stop talking about my nails. I believe in serving with excellence. So I'm wrong to feel that the same servitude that I give, I'll receive, especially if people are not taught. Now, for me, my expectation was they should know me by now. I'm not controlling. I believe in excellence. I'm not a narcissist. I believe that the people around me, what's up, Stephanie Bland? I'm going to call you, girlfriend, that walk with me and know me should know by now. No, she does things a certain way. I give people excellence. I had one young lady say to me, she said, man, have y'all ever been to She Favor? I was in San Francisco. And she said, girl, you go to She Favor. Have you ever got that She Sat? It's some good stuff in there because I believe in excellence. I believe in serving my sisters. I believe in honoring my sisters. I believe in doing this because you do all things unto the glory of God. And if I don't know, I'm going to find out. And so it wasn't that I'm not happy. I'm happy. I just believe that we need to have a lesson on servitude. I believe that we should have a lesson on excellence. Understand, God gave us excellence. He gave us excellence. There is no more excellence than you giving your only son to a bunch of people who ain't gonna like you. He sacrificed in excellence. Come to Unity. Child, you good, and I'm not bragging. I remember when I was in Africa, I took the wallpaper. What I did is I took the pictures when I was over in Africa doing missions work. And I took the pictures, and I made the pictures into wallpaper. So when you come in Children's Church, you can see all of the pictures from Africa and the children from Takoradi on the wall where I turned it into wallpaper. That's my eye. I don't expect that from everyone else. But what I do expect is that you ask questions. How do I serve? How do I serve you? Everything that I do for the people, I am concerned for the people. How do I serve the people? What can I give the people? And my heart, oh, I'm going to be fine, pish posh. But allow me to help you understand. I give God my best. And even if I'm wrong, I am accountable to apologize. But I'm going to let you know something. I have a right to be human. Child, they was calling Bishop Page and they was doing all kinds of stuff. You'll be fine. I was on the phone a couple of minutes ago and me and Megan Good was talking. Like, we was having a dialogue. And let me tell you something, honey, this pressure will take you out. This pressure. But I thank God for the pressure because it's associated with my promise. And so I'm not going to give up. I am just going to teach you how to love and teach you how to honor. Someone said unity was so much fun when I went. I can feel the Spirit of God there. Michelle Pope, come on back. I believe in serving. The church doesn't know anything about servitude anymore. The church doesn't believe in giving the best anymore. The church doesn't believe in serving. We have to get back to learning servitude, but we have to get back to learning honor. 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 Most relationships don't last because there is no honor in it. I honor my husband. I serve my husband. And a lot of people can't have relationships because there is no honor. If my husband told me to take off his shoes right now, I'd get on my knees and take them off. I honor him. And the problem with people is they don't know what honor is. They only know a level of honor because honor in its totality was not taught. I would never, ever, ever, ever in my life just throw something and say, here. No. It's the honor. When a leader comes to unity, we have a reputation. I have a reputation with my husband to honor them. See, I'm old school. I come from old school church where we honored leadership. They were not gods, but we honored them. And I thank God for the ones that understand this word honor. But I thank God for those that want to learn the word honor. Exodus 20 and 12. It says, honor thy mother and thy father. That is the first book of promise. Most people do not have a good relationship with their parents because they don't understand the honor. That I don't care how you feel about your parent, honor them. Whether they were good parents or not, honor them. There is an honor that is no longer in the earth, that is a requirement even for the kingdom. At some point, we got to go back to honor. We have to. I honor my leaders. That's why when Bishop Pat, because she said, baby cakes, I said, let me take this down. When Bishop called, Jameliah, it's a mess. See, everybody want to check me, but you forget, I have matriarchs and patriarchs that do a very good job. Your comments are necessary, but not needed, but hear me. But these matriarchs and patriarchs of the gospel say, now, Jay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would never in my life disrespect my leaders. It's honor. See, y'all got people out here saying, y'all serving y'all leaders, y'all serving, and y'all serving, and y'all serving, and y'all pay. No. Leadership is not Godship. It's servitude because we are watching over your soul. That's what it's about. It's the honor. And no matter how much dishonor I get, I will always serve in honor. I am consistent and will always be consistent. That's why if I do something and if it's a little out of line, they're like, what? No, what? Because that's not the norm for me because I'm so consistent. If you will put honor in everything you do, you'll be successful. I'm going to guarantee you that. But here's the thing that kind of gets my goat a little bit. YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. You will see the level of honor in what they want to do, but no honor in what they should do, not have to do. Because you will see honor in everything they desire. But when it comes to honoring something for someone else, for some reason, the honor isn't there. That's a problem for me. I need you to put honor for someone back in your life. Some of you messed up some good relationships. You had a good woman. You had a good man. But you took them for granted and you did not honor the gift that you had. So you can't get mad because you did not honor the gift that you had. Some of you messed up some good friendships because you did not honor the friendship. Some of you messed up some good jobs because you did not honor your job. You did not honor. And sometimes when you don't understand what honor is, ask. Ask. I love you, Pastor Nisha. Ask. How can I honor you? That's why when I do something, I say, I am honored to serve. This is not about money. Because there's a whole lot of people that show up for Car Chronicles, that show up for the church. But the support? No, 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 no. You'll be surprised. You would love for me to say, oh, I'm a multi-millionaire and I can help it. That's not my segment of the message. That's what you think. But I honor God with everything that I have and everything that I don't. The honor. It's the honor. And people don't know what honor is because the level of honor they have been taught. Rashawn M. Hill is saying, I love this. Let me tell you something. I never will forget my old leader. Won't say his name. And I went over to his house, and I was living in New Jersey at the time. And at the time, he was going through something, him and his wife. And I was always put in positions to cover the bishop and his wife. And I never will forget, they called me, and I said, well, I'm on my way over to the bishop's house. And I went over to his home. And I went inside, and I realized this isn't right. I said, no. He has a lot of children. And there's not enough food in the refrigerator. What I did is I didn't even ask the people because I knew I was going to get a fight. I went to Pathmark. Those of you from up north, y'all know what Pathmark is, right? I went to Pathmark in South Orange on South Orange Avenue. And I took out of my own savings grocery money. And then I had just come from, now I'm talking up north now, Daffy's. Remember Daffy's clothing store on Route 10 in East Hanover? Remember that? I went to Daffy's and I always used to have, I like to look decent. I never forget I had a suit and it was a Casper suit and I had all these suits and they had the tags on them. Someone said I missed Pathmark. I went to Pathmark, loaded up the back with groceries. It was groceries, like $500 worth of groceries. Went home and I got the brand new clothes out my closet. And I went to his house and I said, First Lady, these are for you. She said, huh? I said, open up the cabinet and I filled the entire kitchen because of honor. She said, but these still got the tags on them. I said, so what? Let me honor you, First Lady. Let me honor you. People don't do that anymore. Stephanie Blair, you my girl, you know what I'm talking about. The honor. There's some good leaders out here. I ain't got no Rolls Royce. People at the church know exactly where I stay. Someone said, Casper come through. Ashley Eaton, yes, I did. But you know what I do? I honor. No matter what I have, I honor. You better not get out there and give the less fortunate no raggedy bags. You better not do that. Honor them. Get that hot food. Get it on there. No, give them a haircut. Wash their hair. Come on. It's an honor. All that we do. Someone said, I've been teaching this for quite some time now. There is so much grace and favor in true honor. I said, all that you do it unto the glory of God. It's honor. And that's what you don't understand. It's the honor. You must put the honor back. Y'all done let the devil who comes to kill, steal, and destroy you by taking away the honor. Hear me by way of Holy Spirit. Let me give you a lesson. The Bible declares that there was this very wealthy man in the Bible. His name was Solomon. Solomon moved with honor. Solomon moved with grace. And Solomon moved with wisdom. The Bible said that there was no other temple that was made because this black woman, who was a very wealthy black woman, her name was, uh, what was her name? What was her name? Her was name? Yeah, Queen of Sheba. She was into botanicals. She was a black business owner. She understood the frankincense and the myrrh. She understood everything associated with smelling good. And she said, the eyes have not seen. Queen of Sheba came with her own stuff to honor the king. The Bible said because she brought the honor to the king, he gave her more than what she came with, because she came with honor. The Bible then indicates that he built the temple with honor. He honored the temple. He said, I'm going to teach the people how to be blessed, because we're going to not just give, we're going to give in honor. That everybody that doesn't have, go next door and get a sheep and get a goat, because everyone is going to lift an offering, because we all are in this together. The problem with people is you don't know how valuable honor is, because somebody told you to dishonor a house and dishonor a leader. And so now, when you are really, really, really struggling, ask, did you serve the Lord with honor first? When you don't serve him with honor, it means I'll praise him sometimes and sometimes I won't. You will never find yourself in the face of God in dishonor. You better be in his face with fear, that I honor him so much until I won't just give him anything. I give him all I got. For something that I pray, I say, Father, I bless you with all that I have and all that I don't. I honor him to give him more than my faith. I honor him to move in a reverential fear. I will never dishonor. Never. Thank you for saying that, LaRonda Murphy. I will never dishonor my leaders. My bishop could call me up right now and tell me where to go and how fast to get there. And guess what I'm going to do? Go there, how fast he want me to go there, and how fast he want me to get there. Bishop Coletta Vaughn could call me and let me have it. Okay, yes, ma'am. Bishop Pat McKinstry, yes, ma'am, no problem. Bishop J, yes, sir, no problem. Y'all talk back to leadership. You can't take. Do you know, I never will forget, my leader shut down a conference that I was doing for 2 weeks. He shut it down. He said, you ain't going to preach nowhere. I said, yes, sir. And went to the church and cleaned up the men's bathroom and the ladies' bathroom, on my hands and knees. Not with a bucket, not with a mount, on my hands and knees. Y'all don't know nothing about that. And so y'all better go back to honoring, because when you don't honor, you move in dishonor. And why would he reward people who don't know how to honor what his word says? It says honor whom we honor is due. That's what it was about. I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I believe in serving you all with honor. Some honor has to be taught, just like some love needs a new lesson. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. See you later. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.